good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is in the world when you are listening to this. Let me tell you how I was sitting here having a little Grandel conversation with one of my friends, and I'm being called to do this reading in the middle of our conversation, and I'm talking about cold. Like, and the thing is, stop the bottom of the deck. I've been getting this cold all day, and I've been trying, and it just hasn't been working out. And finally, I wasn't worried about it. Literally, I wasn't worried about it. Wasn't even really thinking about it, and was sitting here thinking with my friend, and it literally came to me, and I was like, do a reading, being called to do a reading. And I just asked him, I'm like, can I use your pen? And he was like, yeah, of course. So here we are with this reading, and here we are with getting this message. And I also feel like that is a part of the energy today, just because of that just seems to be a recurring theme. Just trying, and not being able to get it, or feeling like you won't be able to get it. The star coming on again. World at the bottom of the deck. But in the most unexpected way, at the end of the day, or when you don't even expect it, or when you're not even worrying about it, the solution literally comes to you right there and then, and it's as easy as communicating and asking for it. That's crazy. That is such a message. So yeah, here we are with this reading. And if you feel cold, I can't multitask though sometimes. Actually, let me change my language. I prefer to focus on one thing at a time. Following the tongue. Because that is my birthright. I don't have to multitask. I don't have to do two things at once. I can literally take my time and focus on one thing at a time. Because I am abundant. Time is abundant. I am free. Right? And I feel like that's a message for somebody as well. So, it's been a lot of worlds being shaken up lately. A lot of your lives been shaken up. You may be feeling like you may have reached a boiling point and you can't take it anymore, and you can't hide who you are anymore, and you just have no choice but to show yourself to the world. And it feels like your emotions are spilling over, like your cup is running over, whether in positive or negative, and you are just doing you, letting yourself be. All of your shit is coming out, whether it's good or bad, right? And this energy is causing you to make a decision, because the longer you sit with this energy, the longer you're going to feel that uncomfortableness in the split energy. You're going to feel the uncomfortableness of going back and forth between knowing, being the person that you are, and being the human being, the supernatural human being that you are, and back into these old patterns of wearing a false mask and forgetting your power ultimately, and you recognize that no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. It's literally just you, and you literally have to dust yourself off, as weak as you may feel, as tired as you may feel, right? All you have to do is keep going and keep the focus. And I think that that's really what you're starting to understand, is that it really gets to be that easy. I feel like that was part of that message of what I was saying just now. It really gets to be that easy as choosing what you want to do in each moment and doing what feels good in each moment. But we tend to overcomplicate it, because we've given ourselves, and rather I say we, rather it's ourselves, society, whoever, has given ourselves these expectations. And because we are looking to perform and reach these expectations, these roles, fulfill these roles, jobs, even relationship roles, motherhood, girlfriend, all of that. We pride ourselves in these roles, and a lot of times we get so caught up in these roles, in these identities, in these who we are supposed to be, right? That we forget to nourish who we truly are. We forget that at the center of each and every one of those roles is one being that is doing all of these roles. So that one being needs to be in harmony and needs to be set. That needs to be your main focus. And I think you're starting to get that. You're starting to see the patterns of what happens when you do focus on yourself, and when you do focus on your good, and when you do let go of things and you don't hold on to things and you detach, because you're in the energy of trusting and allowing that things are working out. You've seen the reward. You've gotten great results. You've gotten great results. But you can be lazy sometimes in your thoughts, or you can forget. And I'm not saying this as a, like, you are intentionally being lazy, but I'm saying it from the point of, when we really care, we are going to put in that work, and we are going to do what we need to do to remember and remind ourselves, right? So it's like, when you do get to that level of care, that is when you'll know nothing is going to be able to stop you. So if you are not there yet, hold on, because it will come at some point. You can do what you want to try, and yes, trying and putting in the action and all of that. Well, it's all a part of the path. No one knows the journey for sure, right? But what we do know is, once you do know, you cannot unknow. And that journey, to however long it takes you, is completely up to you, and how long you're willing to accept it without a doubt, and be in alignment. All of you in alignment. And accept it without a doubt who you are. Accept that without a doubt, you are the center of your world. Literally, you are the center of your world. Your world revolves around you and forms to you. Literally, I was talking about this last night with a friend, saying that it is literally like you are walking down a path, walking down a garden, and the scenery of the garden is literally melded to your beliefs. So if you believe you are in a scary garden, you will start to see the formation of roses with prickly thorns that are scary, and nightfall, and bats and owls and all of that, right? But if you believe that this is the most beautiful forest you have ever seen, right, and it's going to be so easy and so quick to get to, it will be so, and it transforms. And just like that, the darkness becomes light. It's literally as simple as that, as believing it is so. But a lot of us have practiced the habit of believing in doubt, because we're always believing in something, right? We're always trusting in something. Are you trusting in the fear, or are you trusting in the doubt? And that is just, let's just take accountability. You feel me? Because let's be real with ourselves. If we are not honest with ourselves about where we truly are, then how can we really change and expand? 143 on the clock as I say that. I love you, literally. And I love you so much that I'm telling you this, because I want you so much to go easy on yourself, and to understand and trust that all is well, and that all is good, and that because the world bends at your will, because your world bends at your will, right? Just relaxing and being happy and having the most fun, and literally creating whatever experience you want to create is what you get to do. You just have to believe it is so. And I know that sounds so like airy-fairy. You just have to believe it is so, because it sounds so simple, but really, a lot of us don't have belief. A lot of us have doubt, have so much doubt built in from generations and generations of trauma and disappointment, whether we're seeing it through lives or through television and entertainment. We have been taught to not trust. We have been taught to be so hyper independent, to be not trusting of our neighbors, right? To be so selfish and greedy, and to believe that there's not enough for everybody, to believe that everyone is out to get me, or everybody's working against me, or nobody's really for me, right? These are the things that have been engraved and instilled, at least in my lifetime, in my generation, from what I've seen, through like the music and the hop, like the different forms of media and things. And obviously there are great shows too, and don't get me wrong, there are very, 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 very good shows, right? But saying all that to say, it's so easy to get caught up in unknown frequencies that you're not even aware of is happening, just because you're enjoying and watching this movie and you don't even realize the frequency that it's doing to your body and how it's altering your mind and your brain chemistry to make you believe this thing is how it happens, because you've never really had this experience in life. And so because you've never really had this experience, this first experience of what you are seeing is how you are thinking that it's and believing that it's supposed to go. So when it doesn't happen like that in real life, there is a disconnect and you believe that something is wrong, and there starts the doubt. You feel me? And obviously everything happens for a reason, right? Like I said, I truly believe that we come from a place of just really not knowing how powerful we truly are and how powerful this world really is in vibration and frequency and energy. And we're really starting to understand and recognize that as a whole, as a collective. And I think we're starting to understand more and more that it's not just about talking the talk. Walking the walk is literally about being the being, right? Because even to walk is performative, right? Being the being is literally just allowing yourself to be who you naturally are in every moment, knowing and trusting that it's okay, knowing and trusting that you are doing your best at every given time, and trusting that the universe has got your back, because that is the frequency and the energy that you need to be in. And not only that, it is the motherfucking truth. And once you trust that and believe that, and once you know that and remember that and walk in that, you no longer worry. You no longer have that doubt. The doubtful thought may come, but it no longer stays. It rolls off like the water on a duck's back. And it does come from, it can take the ping pong situation for you to go back and forth and for you to really believe. Or you can set the intention so high, do whatever you need to do, which is why people do things like, different rituals and even different baptisms and different spiritual cleanses and different routines and practices that actually give them the permission to believe that the change has been done. That drastic dunking of yourself in the water, that drastic, that burning of that paper, that physical anchoring the physical psychological energy into this physical field, right? Literally concretes it and says you fully believe it, because you believe that it's so, and this is the action, and you believe that because this is happening, the action is so. You feel me? If you do have doubt, obviously it's not going to work. But if you believe that it's happening and you believe that this is what happens, it is going to happen for you. Because that is really what this world is all about. And I don't want to burst your bubble, because honestly, sometimes when you get there, it could be a little melancholy, right? Because once you realize that the world is literally what you make it, and literally all you have to do is believe, and literally all you have to do is just be yourself and experience and show up, and that is enough. once you get to that point, sometimes, at first, I was going to say for me, sometimes it could feel like, then what really is life if we really give it meaning and, it really doesn't mean anything. And that's because I was so, physically focused still and culturally focused, because I was still looking for a purpose outside of myself. I was still looking for, okay, well, if this really doesn't mean anything, this really doesn't mean anything, then what really am I here doing? What am I, you feel me? If it all doesn't really matter, then what am I here doing it for? And then it hit me. And it was like, you really are just here to have fun. And it doesn't make sense to you in these constructs because of these constructs that have been created. And rather well-intentional or not, that's not our focus to worry on, right? The constructs that have been made have sort of made us feel like we were in prison and feel like we weren't in power, right? But a lot of us are remembering that, and we're waking up to that. And honestly, I feel like that's the way that we wanted it to be. We wanted to find ourselves in a container so that we can remember our power, so that we can then create and use and harness our power and master our power and work on our craft, and then create on purpose and create beautiful things on purpose, and then pass that on to the next generation for eternal life, for life forevermore. There are so many different infinite loops that I can go into, but I won't go into at this time. But just know that all you have to do is be. And it is as easy as giving yourself permission to. Yes, you may find yourself struggling with deadlines, with time, with scheduling, with meeting friends, with showing up, with even showing up for yourself, Can we wait, please? Okay. I don't know who this is, but someone is coming to say hello. And they're very angry with a wooden cane, and they are smacking me on the head. And I see like a little bald man, a little bald short man with like hair on the side of his, like his bald on the top and just hair on the side and back. And he was whacking me on the head with a cane, and he said, "You better tell me my grandbaby said hello." I don't know who the heck is that for, but he really wanted to come say hi and interrupt this reading. And is there any specific message that you want to say? You just want to say hi? Because I thought I was in the middle of doing something. It's very cheeky. It's like he wants to say something, but he's like dragging it on and like not wanting to, like he wants me to wait for it, and it's like he's trying to make me mad. Like he wants me to get impatient. Like, can you just say what you're gonna say, or I'm about to keep going into this reading. I may have not remembered where I left off, but I will try to pick it up. He said, and you better pick it up. He said, I feel like it's a flirt too. I don't know who this is. I don't know what you're trying to say, sir. But if you're not trying to say anything, just sit quiet. If you just wanted to come say hello for whoever that was, saying hello to you. But I am going to just continue to go in. Now, back to this. What is this? The 9 of numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's just easy as being yourself. And you see how Paul came and interrupted, and like, I'm so glad that I was able to just channel that and do that and just be myself. But anyway, it's so easy as being yourself. And again, you might struggle with, even just now, I was struggling with it. I was like, I kept feeling it, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do it. I just want to keep pushing through this reading. I was called. This is what I was told to do. I was called to be on a message, and this is what I was told to do. And I kept hearing it. And I'm really getting the message on that is, even though you might get a message at the beginning, just keep going with the flow. Plans change, keep going with the flow. Sometimes something was just meant to lead you to something else. And like, you just keep going and keep following the adventure, and you are always exactly where you're meant to be. And always trust that your higher self, your higher being, the part of you that sees all, that knows all, that is tapped in, has your best interest at heart. It's really about trusting yourself and trusting the universe around you. In trusting yourself, you trust the universe around you. And you trust God. And when you walk in that trust, you don't carry on to doubt. You don't carry on to worry. You walk on joyfully and blissfully, and you look for ways to have fun, and you look for the best feeling things, and you customize your life the way that you want it, and you make it yours. But it's hard to do that when you feel like you don't have any power, when you feel like you don't have any time, when you feel like you don't have any resources, when you feel like you don't have anything, when you feel like you're in an energy of separation, when you feel like you don't have, because you are everything. That's why it feels so bad when you even feel like that, because you're not in alignment with who you truly are. When you are in alignment with who you truly are, you feel the joy, you feel the elation. That discord that you feel tells you that something isn't right in me, something isn't aligning me. My higher self doesn't feel this way. My higher self, and here's a clue, my higher self always looks forward, always thinks of me in unconditional, loving thoughts, always thinks the best of me. And I bet you 100 times out of 100, anytime you catch yourself feeling some sort of discord, it's because you are feeling a thought of unworthiness or not love, or, you feel me, anything less than your true vibration of unconditional love. So keep that back check in your pocket. Can I get back to this message? But I'm really just getting the energy to just really truly trust yourself. It is okay to trust yourself. You have been putting in the work. You have been working tirelessly day in and day out in order to build a life that you want, and you have done it. Yes, it may have been a struggle, and literally you are almost there. And I don't want you to get discouraged. I don't want you to give up. I don't want you to get in your energy of self-sabotaging. I want you to rise above and remember who you are and dig deep and do what you need to do, especially when you're in the mood. The power is now. Please move whenever you feel like it. Follow that call. That is your luxury. That is where your abundance starts. Your abundance starts by giving yourself whatever you need in that moment. Abundance is really just the ability to give yourself what you need, right? Or give yourself what you want. So like, if you are willing to give yourself what you want in every small moment, and just, if you are just willing to honor yourself and what your body needs, you are telling yourself that you are wanting to be abundant. You are listening to yourself because you are honoring your body, what your body is saying. Literally. Before you cloud it out with doubt. Yes, you may not know where it's going, and that's the part of the trust and the surrender factor of not knowing where it may lead, or why you may even want to do this when it doesn't make sense logically, but you follow it because you trust and you know. That's the faith. That's the walking on faith. That's why Peter walked on water, yo, because he literally believed it, and he literally kept his eyes on Jesus and was full belief. You feel me? But yeah, you are so close. You are so close. I need you to dig deep. I do see a partnership. I do see someone coming in to carry the load. I do see you just feeling yourself. It's coming as a result of you just being in harmony in yourself and feeling free of yourself, and really just running young, wild, and free. And not giving a fuck about any haters' opinions, not giving a fuck about any haters' energy, literally not giving a fuck about nothing, and just being in your little world with you and your little baby. Like, Yeah, I see that you, from this point forward, you will be intentionally being more intentional about the path that you take, even the words that you say, the thoughts that you think, the story that you tell. You're going to get out of that mental imprisonment, and you're going to remember that it is all fine and it is all okay. And you can do what feels good in each moment. If it feels good to talk yourself through this vibration, do that. If it feels good to paint yourself out of this vibration, do that. If it feels good to sing your way out of this vibration, do that. Be as whimsy and as magical and artistic and as creative and as random and as unknowing as possible. Some call it ADHD. Some call it creative overload or creative overdrive, or just having a lot of creative juices. And I truly do feel like I know that when I am in flow, when I am in alignment, I am doing all the shit that I'm doing, and I'm on a roll, and I'm like, you feel me? When I get in that sweet spot, my ADHD is my superpower, to say the least. Okay? But, this is happening, whether you like it or not. Surrender, be free, have fun. That is the main thing. Just have fun and leap forward with passion. Do what your heart feels like doing, even if it feels scary. A great tip that I heard, that I learned when I was learning about the difference between intuition and anxiety. Intuition speaks, and anxiety asks questions. So if you have to ask a question, that's your anxiety. But if you hear a straight statement and you feel a straight statement, that's your intuition. 9 times out of 10, your intuition is quiet if you haven't been practicing listening to it. And a lot of these times, we get that first statement, and then we start to question it. You feel me? So maybe give yourself permission to follow it if it feels good. You feel me? But again, you are exactly where the fuck you're meant to be at every point, every moment, every time, every place, every space of your journey. So you can never get it wrong. I love you, and I hope that this message resonated with you. I know that this message resonated with somebody, because the fact that I wanted to stop what I was doing to record a reading at this hour, please. So, thank you. I love you, and I'll see you next time.